What's up, you all? This is, of course, Dr. Jewel. Welcome to Your Mind Matters. J-Bold, what's going on, man?
We're back.
Man, hey, he was quick and to the point. We are back. So you all today, we're going to talk about a topic that I am like so hyped about. I mean, I'm in here in the studio and like, I'm so hyped about
What are we going to talk about today?
Oh my goodness, J-Bold, you know this is my topic right here. We're going to talk about emotional intelligence.
Oh, emotional
You know this
intelligence.
is my thing right here, emotional intelligence. All right, and so you may be like, Dr. Jill, like, why is that? Why are you so turned up about emotional intelligence? Because you know what I realize out here on these streets, that most people are clueless about being emotionally intelligent. I mean, it is an area of struggle, whether you're in the church, out the church, people struggle with emotional intelligence. Look, I'm not talking about your IQ. I'm not calling you unintelligent, okay? I'm not saying that you don't lack, intellectual knowledge. I'm not talking about that. But there is a difference between being intellectually knowledgeable, okay, having a high IQ, and having a good EQ, okay? EQ is emotional intelligence. That's what we use, okay, when we deal with emotional intelligence, dealing with your mental health and wellness, how you regulate, how you deal with people, how you are able to assess yourself and where you are. Man, that's about being emotionally intelligent. So when I talk about, when I say, emotional intelligence, J-Bold, what are your thoughts about being emotionally intelligent? Do you feel, just in case, because there may be somebody out here, because you're a single guy, and so I want people to know if you're emotionally intelligent, all right? They may be like, he's smart, he went to school, he has a graduate degree, goes around the country, talking about education, so you got that going for you. You're a smart dude, okay? I know you're a smart dude.
I'm okay.
You're a smart dude, okay? I'm going to give it to you, accept that. Yes, okay? But does that mean that you are emotionally intelligent?
No.
Tell me what that means. Tell me about that. Okay, tell me about it.
Well, when I think about emotional intelligence, I had to go to the Harvard Business School.
Of course
definition.
you do, because you always go to the
Definitions
books.
matter.
He's a
They
nerd.
do.
He always has to go to the book.
Emotional intelligence is defined as the ability to understand and manage your emotions, as well as to recognize and influence the emotions of those around you. So I'd say for me, I'm a work in progress.
Okay, I like it. I would like to think that I am growing in my emotional intelligence. I think I am definitely so much further along, of course, because of the work that I'm doing. Because when I do work with other people, I'm actually doing work on myself, okay? I'm one of those people that I'm not just trying to tell you what's going on with you. I'm trying to be like, is that me? Let me check my pulse. Let me make sure. Let me, I did that. Even in, when I was in family practice, just dealing with the fact that, let me make sure I have my routine screenings. Let me make sure that, I'm seeing this going on with you. Let me make sure it's not me, Let me make sure that I'm going through the proper testing, that I'm getting things done to try to manage my physical health. Well, the same thing with your mental health. Are we doing the checks and balances? So one of the things about being emotionally intelligent, J-Bold, we are lacking emotional intelligence. And I'm really concerned about it, because if you ask people, do you feel like you're emotionally intelligent? You think you're in tune with yourself? Do you think you're in tune with other people? Do you think you can read people appropriately? Do you think you can manage well and self-regulate your emotions? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I am definitely emotionally intelligent. But the literature says something different. It says that really 85 to 90% of people will say, I am very emotionally intelligent. I'm in tune with myself around all the things, okay? But only really 15% of them actually are.
Yeah.
That's a big variation. So the moral of the story is, like, you may think a little higher of yourself than you ought to in this area. So we want to talk about emotional intelligence, what it actually means in the life of a person. Are you, the question that we want to ask for today, are you emotionally intelligent? So, J-Bold, read my shirt today. What does it say?
Your shirt says, I'm going to let God fix it, because if I fix it, I'm going to jail.
Yes, that's what my shirt says today, okay? Now, Emotional intelligence is realizing where you are at any given time, okay? Where you are emotionally, all right? So, sometimes you have to wear it outwards, okay? Because you're like, look, this is not a good time. So, okay, so for you, those of you who are like, Dr. Jewel, like, what does this whole thing mean? Of course, we're going to go into it. But sometimes I want to let you know that you can be a human billboard. You don't even have to say where you are emotionally. You can be a human billboard, and people can know. I may not need to talk. I may not need to engage her in this conversation because it looks to me she has a billboard on her chest that she may not be the most emotionally intelligent at this time. You feel me, J-Bold?
I feel
So
you.
let's go through. Let's go through emotional intelligence. What it actually is, and again, what are the components of emotional intelligence?
Yes.
So let's deal with this. How do you identify if you're not emotionally intelligent? What are some of the things that you look for in a person that's not really emotionally intelligent? Like, I'm not saying that you just stand around and you look at people like you're like emotionally not intelligent, but I can't say that I don't do that, J-Bold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not judging people. I'm just kind of going by what you're showing, what you're displaying. And I was like, that's not an act of emotional intelligence. So what is it when you don't lack emotional intelligence? What does that look like?
So I think about it across a few domains
Okay.
and competencies.
Okay.
Thinking about, are you self-aware?
Oh,
Are
stop
you
right there.
empathetic?
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
ooh. Let's not roll past that one. Let's not roll past that one. Are you self-aware? Okay. Now, most people I know think that they're very self-aware. They are so not self-aware. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
So what do you think it means to be self-aware? When I say self-aware, what does that mean to you?
Are you in tune with yourself? Do you recognize when you are sad? Do you have feelings language? Can you describe your mood at any different moment? Do you know how you impact others? How your decisions impact others? Are you aware of how you show up in different spaces? Are you aware?
Are you aware that you have a bad attitude?
Yeah.
Are you aware when you show up in a room that everybody in there is like, oh my gosh, you changed the whole room shifts, the whole energy shifts when you walk in?
Yeah.
Are you self-aware that you have that impact on people? Are you aware that the way you talk to people, the way you relate to people could be breaking them, could be injuring them, could be causing really actual trauma to them?
Yes.
Are you aware of how you act, the repercussions of what you do? Are you okay with that? Okay? Are you okay with leaving bodies out after you finish mutilating everybody and destroying everybody with your mouth, with your tone, with your verbiage? Like, are you self-aware? Are you the person that can say, instead of having Nathan the prophet like David did, having Nathan the prophet said, the man is you, are you able to say the person is me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's being self-aware. And what I'm finding out, J-Bold, a lot of people aren't just self-aware. They do things and they don't even realize the magnitude, what it does, how it impacts your home, how it impacts your marriage, your relationship with friends and family.
Yes.
They don't even realize that. I'm going to give another one. Like, you late all the time.
Uh-oh.
You're late all the time to things. You don't even realize that your lateness, how it impacts other people. How it delays other people from being able to do things or to accomplish a goal because they're waiting for you. That's are you aware? Okay. And so I would dare to say that sometimes we're so self-centered and so self-absorbed that we don't even look at how we affect other people.
Yes.
So being self-aware is being able to say, that's me. I need to back up. I need to think about this. Okay. Yeah, that was a little messy. That's being self-aware. Let's talk about some of the other ones. Self-management. Self-management. So self-management is how you're able to manage yourself. Okay. How you able to manage yourself. So once
Do you know when you need to take a nap?
Yes.
You need to eat a Snickers.
Drink some water.
Drink some water.
Take a walk.
Go for a walk.
Go out, go to the gym,
Yeah.
go boxing, go swing some ball. When I say, go to and hit some golf balls, take it out on the golf ball. Do something, but do know when you don't need to go into that conversation.
Yes.
Oh, J-Bold. Okay, hear me. There are sometimes, depending on it. Okay, this is if you're self-aware. If you know you had a hard day, okay, I'm just gonna use me. If I know I had a hard day, I done seen a whole bunch of patients. They have drained me. Really, I'm tired. I'm at the end of the day. I'm on life support mentally and emotionally. Okay, I'm tired. Okay, and then you come in with something that's kind of off the grid. I don't even, when I see the phone, I don't even need to pick it up. I don't need to pick up the phone. I don't even need to talk to you. Matter of fact, I need to go take a walk. And if you keep blowing up my phone, I will let you know I can't talk right now.
Yeah.
Let me get back with you tomorrow. Is this an emergency? If it's not, I don't need to hear no drama, no nothing, because I'm trying to get through what I just went through for the last 8 hours, okay? Self-management is being able to be in tune with yourself, and as a result of that, I'm not going to let you take me into a conversation. I'm not going to let you enter me into an argument. I'm not going to let you get me into some mess, because I'm going to manage myself emotionally, okay? Yeah. And so, you have any thoughts about that? Have you ever had to do that before?
Sometimes you have to put your own self in timeout.
Tell me what that means.
You have to take a step back, and it might mean not just going for a walk. It could be, I need to journal right now. I need to put some things down from pen to paper and get out what I might want to say in a conversation. Yes, you may know I don't need to enter this conversation, but you might also need an outlet to express what you want to express.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's journaling. It could be, you know what, I can write a song. Or I can listen to some music and kind of calm myself. Classical music does that for me.
Oh.
Just jazz, something non-verbal, doesn't have to have any lyrics to it, but just it puts me in a space where I can think and slow my thoughts down enough to saying, you know what, I need some time. Or I had to do this week. You gave me a call, and it was a conversation that I needed to end, but I was kind of nervous about ending. So sometimes you might need to text a friend and say, hey, can you give me a call real quick? Because I'm not really sure how to get out of this conversation.
Right.
And I don't want to lie.
Right.
So,
right, but I need to get out. I need to get out. I need an escape plan.
Yes.
I need an escape plan.
Yeah.
Also, self-management is realizing I don't need to send that email.
Yes.
I don't need to send that email.
Yeah.
I don't need to answer that text right now.
That's right.
I don't need to pick up that call. I don't need to go over your house. I don't need you to come over mine. It's a part of managing and being a great CEO, a great chief operations officer of your own emotions, and not letting people drive you somewhere where you're not ready to go or you're not emotionally able to handle.
Yes.
So that's self-management. It is major. Also, look, part of being emotional intelligent is social awareness.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So when you're dealing with social awareness, you got to deal with, again, how you read other people. Because part about being emotional intelligence is not always about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just always this, it's not this selfish thing about, it's all about me, how I feel, it's about you being able to read other people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Read the room.
Read the room, all right? Read your children, read your spouse, read people that you're around. Because if you say something to them, or even if you don't say something to them, part of being emotionally intelligent is saying, you know what, you're not talking much today. I'm looking at your countenance. You seem kind of sad today. You seem out of sorts. Emotional intelligence is being able to look around and feel the emotions, the vibe, the energy of people, the room. That's what it's all about. It's not just about your self awareness, it's also
Yes.
realizing the impact that you have
That's right.
on people or don't have on people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you walk in, if I walk into the family reunion, because we're gonna talk about things going on in the summers, you know, how to get if you and everybody just kind of starts dropping, it's you being a little bit more aware, like, you know, I realized when I walked in here, like something changed.
Something changed.
And so being aware is very, very important. It's also, you know, relationship management.
Mm.
Okay. It's your ability to influence other people, coach other people, mentor other people, resolve conflict. You know, so a part of being emotionally intelligent is how you're able to maneuver difficult things, difficult interactions. Okay. You know, do you go in for the kill? Are you able to fall back and deal with situations appropriately?
Yes.
So, you know, there are several things that stop us from being emotionally intelligent. And I think that, J-Bold, and you may have some that you want to talk about, but things that stop you from being emotionally intelligent is when no one is really ever everybody is kind of adjusted to your lack of emotional
Yes.
intelligence.
Yes.
Okay. um we just let you get away with it. you you're not in tune with yourself. You show up the way you're going to show up. Take it, because that's just me. I can cause any kind of collateral damage I want, and sorry. Okay. Not only do you not grow mentally and emotionally in the management of yourself, okay?
Yeah.
You also destroy other people.
Could it be on the flip side to,
Say
because
more.
sometimes folks would like to keep you at their level of comfort, so you can grow in your own emotional intelligence and become so self-aware and so and you have a great ability to self-manage that folks can't handle you kind of glowing up, or
Mm,
they'll say, well, you're just too brand new, something's different, something's changed about you.
yeah, because what you know, and that's a beautiful. I'm glad you brought that up, J. Bowl, because again, if you've been emotionally unintelligent and you just scream and holler and fuss and engage every conversation, whether you're mentally ready to or not, emotionally ready to or not, you are pretty much just moved and flowed by everybody else's emotion, and you go through life just responding.
Yes.
That's all you do. You go through life on the defense. You just responding to everything. When you stop that and people try to push you and they realize that they're not being pushed, they actually did not pick up the phone. They actually did not react to the situation the way I thought. They told me to do whatever I wanted to do.
Right.
They told me to do you. And they didn't pour all of this into me and get emotional with me, and I couldn't even provoke them to get angry or mad about the situation. Oh, they gonna think you knew. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So emotional intelligence does it does it does directly affect your mental health.
Yes.
Okay. It does. It you know, because again, your mental health is related to how you engage other people or let them engage you. Because a lot of us, I would dare to say, are very mentally unhealthy because we don't know how to set up boundaries. We're not emotionally intelligent. We don't realize we're not emotionally intelligent, and we stay in a constant state of chaos, friction,
Yes.
just going through life, just letting everything move and shake us and punch us around. When part of being mentally healthy is saying no. Okay?
Yes.
enough is enough. I'm tired of this ebb and flow. I'm tired of being exhausted, and I don't know why. And so, part of being mentally, emotionally intelligent is being able to regulate that. And
Yeah.
so, I would dare to say that's very important, J-Bold. Also, we got to also realize too that a lot of our emotions tend to be very automatic.
Mm.
You learn behavior. You learn how to react to things. You learn it from your mama, your grandmama, your daddy. You learn, certain things push your buttons. It pushed their buttons. You learn how to scream and respond. You learn how to blame.
Mm.
You learned how to not take accountability for your actions. You learned that the damage that's left, they just need to get over it.
Yeah, let the chips fall
Let the
where they
chips
may.
fall, or the truth is just the truth. They just going to get over it. You learn that language, you learn that behavior.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what people do is a automatic response to what they've learned. What I am trying to say today is that part of being emotionally intelligent is saying, "Mm, no, I that may not be the right way," because I realize that when I have these conversations with my kids, their grades go down.
Mm.
I'm not as intimate with them as far as our relationship. We're not as close. I feel distance. I feel distance between me and my kids. Me and my husband, he's kind of shut down from me. We're not as connected as we used to be. My wife, she, we don't go out and do the things we used to. I feel like it's like something in between us. And so part of being emotionally intelligent is saying, could the person be me? Are they tired of my verbal abuse? Are they tired of me showing up and reacting or not reacting the way that I've been doing in the past? Why have I been acting like that? Did I learn that? Do I need to take a pulse on myself and be like, you know what? The way I handle things, the way I bully, the way I try to control, that's not working anymore. And I'm really leaving a body count. I'm leaving people out here who are dying to me emotionally. We're not as connected or attached because I'm not self aware of what I'm doing and how it's showing up. Okay? If that's you, then you may be lacking emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, J-Bold?
That's an excellent point. I think when we think about how we are impacting others and what we need to do, it's important that you self assess so that you can be self aware. Because if you don't assess it, you can't what?
You can't address it.
You can't
You
address
can't
it.
address it. You've got to be able. Another thing is that, and this is what we're missing too, we're not able to have a pulse on people's feelings. We're not empathetic. We're not compassionate. It's like, especially, I see some of us, in leadership as believers, we get into a level of leadership or influence. And we're not compassionate. We're not kind. You just do what I say do because I have the power to make you
Yes.
do what I ask you to do. But we lack empathy and compassion and sensitivity. We lack emotional intelligence because guess what? We got to realize that other people matter outside of us. It is loving people well. And
Yeah.
part of loving people well is being concerned about them. It's not just about you accomplishing your goals, accomplishing what you want. It's about other people being healthy and well as they maneuver through life and become the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And so
Not
that
just
is
about the deliverable that
oh
you're trying
my,
to get to. People are not deliverables. People are
right.
people.
You know,
Whole humans.
oh, whole human beings, whole human beings. And so, also, relationship management.
Yes.
If you cannot manage relationships well, it's a possibility that you may be lacking some emotional intelligence.
Can you
All
handle
right?
conflict?
Say more.
Conflict management. Sometimes people don't even know how to process conflict or disagreements. Sometimes there's healthy disagreements. It's okay for people to disagree with
Right.
you,
That's right.
but can you handle it?
Oh, can you handle no?
Can you handle
Can you
no?
handle someone being emotionally intelligent as it relates to you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, J-Bold.
Yeah.
Because I become emotionally intelligent and I tell you, you screaming at me or your action here.
I don't like it when you said X.
Ooh,
When you said this, it made me
me
feel.
feel. Ooh, and then I look at you like, what you mean? Like, what you trying to say? Wait, ho. They just made a whole statement.
Yeah.
They just gave a whole feeling, and you just derailed.
Mm.
Where's your self-awareness? Where's your management of your emotions? What's going on in you
Yeah.
that you can't hear that, settle down and say, you know what? Whew, that hurt. I don't know if I can handle what you said right now. Can I have some time to
Yes.
process? Let me give you a case in point. I had a patient and very smart young man, 20-ish. And he said to me he had this girlfriend. The girlfriend he said, he said, I think she has a mental illness,
Mm.
but I love her. And she's pregnant. And I said, okay. He said, but she screams and hollers all the time.
Mm.
We get into arguments all the time. I love her, but she argues all the time. And the way I respond to her, he said, I'm very cool. So I'm doing what you told me to do, J-Bold. He said, I walk away from her. I get in the car. Do you know what she does? She steps in front of the car, tries to open the car doors, beats on the car, won't let me leave. When I'm trying to get out the house to try to walk, they are blocking the door, her and her mom. I said, what in the world? So he says, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do when you're trying to be emotionally intelligent and not engage and be sucked into dysfunction, chaos? What do? J-Bold. I said, well, he said, she acts just like her mama.
Mm.
And you know what I said? I said, it's learned behavior. So I want to talk about emotional intelligence can be transferable, okay?
Yes.
You can transfer your intelligence. So that's why it pays to be intelligent, because the moral of the story is that you're going to have, if you're not intelligent, you may produce a whole bunch of other emotionally unintelligent little offspring. You understand what I'm saying? You got a whole house of emotionally unintelligent people. That's called chaos, okay?
Yeah.
All right? So my thing is this, is that it's very important. We have to prioritize it. And what I told this young man is this. There comes a point in time, if it was passed on, they don't have the skills, okay? They didn't learn the skills to be emotionally intelligent. You can't let someone derail you from being emotionally intelligent. So continue on your journey, but you have some decisions to make, young man. If you have to go to sleep, wake up to this. If this person's emotional unintelligent drives you to do things that are against your core values or against the person that you want to become, then you're going to have to make some decisions. Is this who you want permanently in your life?
Ooh.
I'm going to say it again. if this person, as you're walking in health and wellness, mentally and emotionally, I'm not saying it to judge people, but I'm going to say that as you get healthier, you're going to realize it's a whole lot of unhealthy people out here on these streets,
And
okay?
your level of emotional intelligence doesn't mean you can save folks.
Just because you become intelligent doesn't mean that's just imputed on other people.
Yeah.
They have to do their own work
Yes.
in becoming emotional. They have to debunk all the things, some of the things that they learned on how to cope, how to interact, how to manage relationships, how not to manipulate. All that stuff has to be addressed. That's self-awareness. Okay? I learned how to manipulate. I learned how to blame. I
Yeah.
learned how to not take responsibility. That's a part of being emotionally intelligent. Okay? Once you start doing that work, then you start realizing that there are a whole lot of people out here that are not emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do. Look, only person you can save, try to help is yourself. But the moral story is this, Jonathan. I think that we are doing a disservice when we don't encourage people to start assessing their emotional intelligence. Where are you? How do you deal with people? Look at your relationships. Look at how you show up. Look at your sensitivity to other people around you. Are you sensitive? Are you not sensitive? Are you reading that you don't have a good relationship in this season with your children, with your loved ones? Are you, you know, what does life look like for you as far as your emotional regulation? Are you engaging a lot of drama, and as a result, you're being a little bit more dramatic? How are you interpreting situations? Are you looking at things like, everybody's against me? Everybody is out to get me. Like, what does that look like for you? Because it could be possible that you're not emotionally intelligent. Nobody is out to get you. Where is your self-esteem in this season? Where do you feel like God has you? Do you feel like you have purpose? Do you feel, what is going on with you to make you start feeling the way that you're feeling? That's a part of self-awareness. Sometimes you can't figure it out by yourself. Sometimes you need to go to a therapist, someone that can pull back and say, okay, all right, let's talk about your feelings. Let's talk about where you are. What we do, we start bringing up things. We want to know each relationship that's important to you. How are you doing in these relationships, okay? Because that could be that, you may not be emotionally intelligent. That's the reason why you're not engaging these relationships well. How are you on your job? How are you as a leader? Are you empathetic? Do you blame? Do you take other people's feelings and process them and be able to manage yourself accordingly as it relates to them? Are you able to look at someone and say, you know what, this is not the best time for us to have this conversation because you look tired? I know you've had a hard day, and what I feel about what's going on, the dishes, the dog not being taken to the, it really is second because you're injured right now. I can see you had a hard day. I can see you're not feeling well. I can see you're not emotionally where you need to be. I'm going to hold on that conversation, and maybe we need to have that next week. Maybe we don't need to have it at all because everything doesn't need to be said or expressed. Part of being emotionally intelligent is being able to decipher that and not being so impulsive that it's all about what you got to say, what you got to get out. Where is all of it coming from? Are you really unsettled in your mind? Are you really dealing with maybe depression? Are you really dealing with anxiety? And as a result of that, your emotions are all over the place, and the other people just take the residual damage on that. And are you healthy enough to be able to sit still and say, what is really going on? And do you have people in your circle that can look at you and say, it's you, Jonathan?
Yeah. And don't be afraid to ask them. Feedback is a gift, but sometimes you do need to ask others.
But what if you're scared? like if you go off on people to tell you the truth about yourself, like I think we got to also set people up, because man, they may get it.
That's
so
true.
like they be like, tell me the truth about myself, and you be like, no, you're really mean. What then you got to go through all of that, you know what I mean? So you also
goes back to being self-aware.
Self-aware. Then you need to back up, like, dang, I just went off on them. I asked them to tell me about myself, and they told me that they went off, you know what I mean? So you've got to be able to say, you know what, hold your breath. So this is what I do, J-Bold. Okay, this is for you. Okay, this is what you can do. When you ask that person, am I emotionally intelligent? Just hold on to your seat, cross your legs, do whatever you got to do, hold your breath, okay? Because they may say something, but if you don't want to hear it, don't ask. Because part of being emotionally intelligent is saying, you know what, I really don't want to know this, okay? And until you really want to know it, then just hold it, okay? But if you really want to know, just let people know and say, I'm not going to fuss at you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to ask you a million questions right now. You got to make them safe, because you done screamed at them before and went off on them when they tried to tell you the truth. That's why they don't tell you the truth anymore, okay? So I want you to give them the right to say, you know what, I'm trying to change. Give me an opportunity to go through rehab. You're going to be my first person, and I want you to tell me what you think, all right? And maybe you may learn something, okay? Part of being intelligent is not running away from the truth about you. Part of being emotionally intelligent is saying, you know what, I know what you think. God, what do you think about me?
Yes.
It's going there too, because people are going to have feelings about you, but the moral of the story is that, are you looking more like Christ every day? And if you're looking more like Christ, you're going to love people well, okay? You're going to have some self-control. You're going to have some discipline in what you say, how you act. You're going to consider people's feelings. You're going to be empathetic, okay? You're going to esteem your brother and their emotions and their feelings, sometimes even above your own rights, okay? Not to the detriment of you, but to the health of you and the health of them, okay? So part of being emotionally intellectual is considering all of those things, all right? And so, look, you got to do the work. I want you to go out. Are you emotionally intelligent, man? Take a pause. And J-Bold, you got anything else you got to add to this?
I mean, I think we can drop the mic on that.
You think so, J-Bold?
I think so. Let us pray.
Come on now. God, thank you. We're such emotionally unintelligent people sometimes, and we know that there ebbs and flows. But God, we thank you that you're a God of grace. But will you continue to grow us up, strengthen us, help us to be able to walk in intelligence as it pertains to your word, Father God. Help us to love your word more than we love ourselves, and help us to align our hearts, our will, our thoughts, and our emotions according to your word. Help us to love each other well. Help us to have insight as to who we are, not filtered through the world's lens, but filtered through the word. And Father, give us the heart and the will to change so that we can look more like you. And as a result of that, man, we can be a healthier version of ourselves and just be examples for the world to see you in us and through us. So Lord, we thank you. You all, look, be blessed. Come back to Your Mind Matters with Dr. Jewel. We're going to keep chopping it up about mental health, mental wellness, and mental illness. Be blessed, y'all. Take care.